Welcome, 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 ladies and gentlemen, to the Onward VR Master League. I am your caster, Noman with a 4. I am joined today by none other than Mr. Trip himself. Trip, how are you today?
I am doing fantastic. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, I am pretty stoked about this match that we have got ahead of us today, my friend. We have got Jigglez versus Mayhem. Now, the first team there may sound new, but it is not. It is actually, in fact, the G-Men of old. You may remember them from last season. And, of course, we know Mayhem, a veteran team as well. So we're bringing you a veteran matchup. I'm stoked to be back on the casting desk. It has been a long time since I've brought some of this action to people's eyeballs. And I'm stoked to get back in the seat for Season 11 and start pumping out this amazing content. What are your thoughts on this matchup, Trip? I mean, what do you think we're going to see here?
I mean, a lot of people wanted this matchup. Let's see, 47 people voted for this matchup to be casted, while 77 people voted for Mayhem to win. So I know more of you looked at this match and you didn't vote for it to be casted, and I want to know why.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, I'm expecting at least 47 people to show up on stream today, so I'm hoping everybody's starting to file in while we get ourselves into the lobby and get the information that we need from these teams. But we'll go over quickly sort of where we are in the season. So we're in week 1 if you haven't been familiar with the VRML format. We run a 15-week season here in Season 11. Every week, teams get a matchup generated and a challenge match available. And those teams fight for these top spots in the league. Normally, it has been the top 7 that you want to aim for being in at the end of the season to lock yourself in a spot in the postseason. And then, of course, that coveted 8th position goes to the wild card championship winners. But we are a long ways away from that, and let's focus on the teams we've got now. So the placements aren't in on the website yet, the standings aren't done, so there's quite a bit of legwork left to do there. But these teams are currently ranked 71 and 97, probably not indicative of their final placement. We'll see placements normalize around week 3 after most teams have played the requisite 3 matches. And the rosters that we've got is on the Jigglez side. You've got That Idiot, 404, Miracle Dev, Brass to Mouth, Mitch Ultra, Biggie Smalls, Nintendo, and Officer Jiggly Cake. Meanwhile, on the Mayhem side, they are Defilade, James, Boke, Capitano, Monarchid, Potato Bot, Sky Joker, Theta, and Wookie. Now, I'm going to ask you, Trip, here while I get the rest of the information from the teams. What are your thoughts on this match? I mean, where do you see this going? These are 2 veteran teams. How do you see this playing out?
Well, so looking back at Season 10, the final standings were Mayhem was first in the NA and G-Men were second in the NA bracket. So top 2 teams duking it out. It's going to be a good time. They've played each other a bunch of times before. Let's take a look at the history. We've got Mayhem win, G-Men win, G-Men win, G-Men win, G-Men win. So Mayhem has only won their most recent game against G-Men / Jigglez. The website's confusing. And that was, yeah, Season 10, last match that they played, it was 11-8 Mayhem. But everything else has been a G-Men win, so it's been, or a Jigglez win, so it's been a Jigglez heavy lineup. But they've been playing each other since Season 7.
Yeah.
Those Stone Cold Killers, so.
Yeah, there's been some changes in team names over the course of the last couple of seasons, so we'll try to keep that, keep track of that for the folks at home, in case you remember them as different teams. We have the lobby starting to come up now, but I did get bans, so let's talk about those. Let's talk about the home ban first here, so I'll put that up on the screen. That is Sand that is banned on the Jigglez side. Any thoughts on that ban from this team?
I don't like Sand, so I don't really know. Every time I like it as a map, but I don't like it as a competitive map. I haven't played it very often as a full team. So my view on it is skewed, I would say. but I don't have enough detail to determine whether that's a band that they think Mayhem is better at, or if it's a
Yeah, I mean, it's a newer custom map, right?
Know?
It's a newer map coming into the rotation, relatively recently, and of course, new in Season 11. So maybe just not a map they're comfortable with. In the meantime, we're going to take a look at the Mayhem ban, and that is going to be Suburbia. Now, that one's, I feel like, a pretty standard ban from this Mayhem team. Any thoughts on that? I mean, does that surprise you at all?
I think that they just need to kick Mono off and start playing Suburbia again. I think he's really the only one that's against the Suburbia.
We always blame Mono. He's on the casting team. A lot of the folks there on the Mayhem side help out a lot in our production side. You know, Theta, Wookie, James, and Mono all either on the casting or the production
and
team.
Joker.
Yeah, and Joker now, yeah, of course. Jeez, Mayhem representing the VRML in as many ways as possible. But we are getting ready to get into this lobby, and we've got our first map pick, it looks like. I see now that 9 people are in. I'm ready to divulge the map we're going to, and the first map is going to be Bazaar. Now, for me, as a player, not my favorite map to play. Just one of those maps that just doesn't click with me. There's nothing in particular I don't like about it, but it's a challenging map for me as a player to have gotten around it. Trip, this is one of your favorites, right?
No, I do not like Bazaar either.
Okay, good. You're one of my compatriots.
It either goes really well or it goes really bad. There is no middle ground on Bazaar.
Yeah, agreed. I have conflicting experiences with it. You know, I used to get a lot of guff from my former team about me not wanting to play on this map, but sometimes performing well. I'm like, it doesn't mean that I have to like it or that I enjoy the outcomes that we get from it. But it is a map that tends to swing wildly, right? Depending on the objective you get and the team you're playing. You know, some teams can end your run on Bazaar very quickly if you're not prepared, with some quick caps and some smoked rushes. And I'm wondering if we're going to see any of that today from either of these teams. I mean, neither really is a heavily aggressive team, right? These are both measured offenses. And I'm expecting kind of a trade-for-trade battle here. But any thought? I mean, I know you've kept up with the Onward meta a little bit more than I have. Any thoughts on that? You think anybody's got anything special to throw out in this match?
Well, I will point out that there are new objectives since last season. There's one at the tank, and is that the only one? Is there one in the East Courtyard somewhere? I don't remember. There's one at the tank, and we've seen it in cast already this season, and I don't know how I feel about it. There's not a lot of good spots to defend right on top of the objective, so you kind of have to spread out, and that allows for more gaps in your coverage. So if you only have to deal with 1 or 2 defenders to get to that objective. The other changes, Kiat, the North 2-story, or whatever you want to call it if you're EU, it has no middle wall anymore. It's not 2 sides on top. You can run across the top floor. I don't remember if that was a change sometime in Season 10, or if that's new to Season 11.
I believe that's new to Season 11, yeah. I think that was an off-season change as Bazaar was sort of adjusted with the quest release and everything.
It's a big change.
It is a big change, yeah. And there's certainly enough adjustments to make even these old weathered maps, as some of us veterans would consider them, to have a little bit of life breathed into them. Whether or not it is a competitively advantageous change, I guess it depends on which side of the field you're on, right? Which, if you get the offense first, if you get the defense first on a particular objective, can definitely change the way these maps are played and the way the results come out of them. So yeah, it's an interesting battle here, and this is going to be my first time seeing 2 veteran teams go at it in Season 11. I have not, like I said, this is my first cast back in Season 11, and while I did follow the action that was happening in the custom maps tournament and the hiatus tournament earlier in Season 10, like you said, a lot of changes have come in, different headsets and new objectives and things like that. So there's quite a bit to keep our eye on here. We are just
Meta
waiting.
changes as well.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, we've got a whole new set of objects that are not allowed in League play, a slightly different set from what we had in Season 10. And it's going to shake things up. It's absolutely going to shake things up. I mean, most notably, right, the shield. A big factor in a lot of teams' gameplay in Season 10, currently not allowed in the league. And that's a lot of offensive approaches that have to very drastically change as a result of that. If you want to check out all the different changes, head on over to the Onward VRML Discord, and you can see that in our announcements page, as well as on the website, I believe. So do check that out and keep yourself up to date on all the more recent fiddlings that we've got going on with the league. Looks like we're just waiting on one more player on the Jigglez side to file in, so we will give them a few minutes. But as we get prepared for this match, we're going to jump to a brief intermission. Usually this happens as soon as I press the intermission button, the last player joins. So I'm going to jump to intermission purely to invoke that law. And we will be right back into gameplay as soon as that player joins, so don't go anywhere unless it's to grab a quick snack, and we will be back in just a few moments. All right, not even enough time for that ad break to play. I mean, come on. We're hurting our sponsors here, but we are ready to kick it off. Mayhem and Jigglez are underway in their first matchup of this first week of Season 11. Let's see what happens here. It's Jigglez on the offense for this Western Courtyard OBJ. We'll take a look at what their approach looks like here.
Looking a little held back, not approaching as fast as I would expect. It looks like they're waiting for someone to come into the courtyard or the bazaar. I'm not sure. I don't think I've ever been that concerned that far back, so I'm not sure if they have more info on the Mayhem offense or defense here.
It doesn't look like...
They're definitely looking at that Kiat.
Yeah, I mean, we take a look at the overhead map. You can see the defense there from Mayhem, a relatively standard circular defense covering all sides. They've got one north, one south, two on the east, and one hanging back west, watching that northern approach of the Western Courtyard. But not a lot of movement yet from the Jigglez side. Nintendo here being the first to approach. You don't want to fall out of sync with your team there, Nintendo. We'll see if the rest of the team starts pushing up with a little bit more gusto as the round continues. I mean, they got plenty of time, right? We've gone back to 6-minute rounds now in competitive Onward. We were at 5 minutes last season, and that extra minute, as we talked about a lot when the change happened the other direction, makes a big difference, even on some smaller maps. So, Jigglez here using their full 6-minute time to try and clear out as much of the area as possible. Catch any defenders out, but Mayhem not going to be out roaming about.
Yeah, they're definitely using all of that time available. I mean, they used 2 minutes just to clear the Kiat.
I mean, some teams like working with that that little bit of pressure at the end. They make that forceful push at the end, make the defense have to panic, make them have to constantly rotate, check the tablet. It's a pretty common strategy.
Capitano is watching these stairs here. That idiot is going up. Laser comes out. Capitano's waiting for it.
They're looking for it, and he's looking down the sight. Did he spot him out there? I don't think he did. Oh, he sees him now.
There he goes.
There it is. That's a down. Should be a res available, though. Plenty of Jigglez players left in that area to pick him up. Let's take a look at the contact here. 404 and Defilade in a little scrap. Defilade going to be coming out on top of that one.
Blue, something. Blue 7.
Call out coming out for the team, letting them
They
know.
not healing. Oh, there we go.
There we go. Yeah, they picked him up. Some fun syringe work. Nintendo's going to be hearing these call outs pretty well. Botched nade there from Defilade, not going to go where he wants it to go, but there was nobody really up in that courtyard, and an unfortunate team kill there as Nintendo swings wide. But that idiot not
Wait, you can shoot through there now?
Yeah, that has been penetrable for some time now, those boxes.
It was not penetrable at the end of season
10, correct, yeah. Correct.
That alleyway, that's where he shot him from, right? Right
yeah,
there?
this little box set of crates here, yeah. That used to be boxes, used to be a set of boxes, and now it's pallets on the side. But yes, those are all penetrable now, and that is going to really set Jigglez back quite a bit. As now they're in a 3v5, 2 minutes left on the clock and ticking down slowly. Brass here just on the other side of Theta. He's gonna find the back of James here, watching out now. He's got coverage by the pallets. Ooh, the swing by Brass, a fantastic pickup by him, starting to even things out a little bit. When he peeks outside, just avoiding Wookiee's gunfire, but doesn't avoid James as he finds Biggie Smalls. Defilade nabs a trade with Brass. He is revivable, but will likely stay in that state, as there is plenty of defenders still remaining. It's all up to the remaining. Yeah, just the one Jiggle player left, finding James. It's going to be a big pickup for him. The callouts coming in here from Defilade's downed body is going to be enough to give his defenders a little bit of information. He's going to go for that confirm with the frag. No love
and
there.
set off a C4, but
swing
did
wide.
not. It didn't land right into the doorway. Man, so close. That was a good call.
He's only got 45 seconds left, but Defilade's going to see this cross here. He's going to alert that Mayhem.
Is he? No, Defilade's inside.
I think he could see through that. He could see through that door crack. I have a feeling if he was watching.
I don't
know
think
if he'll
so.
know to watch that way. Oh, he swings out, but the
Oh.
trade will come out with Capitano. And with Wookiee being a standing member of the defense, that is going to give Mayhem that first round win. What a start to the series already. I mean, they used that clock relatively wisely. I think that team kill is what really set them back.
Yeah, they didn't seem in sync. They were moving. Nintendo was ahead of everyone for most of that round, and then was obviously out of position when he got shot, or at least so whoever was shooting him thought he was out of position. But I think that the man actually had a chance there at the end. I think it was just a wrong place, wrong time, because it didn't look like Defilade or Capitano or Wookiee were looking at that mini market approach.
Yeah,
Just
definitely
kind
could
of
have
came out when he was going for the push. I mean, that's just the timing, right?
Yeah, it is absolutely timing. This game comes down to timing much more often than some may think, and especially when you get down to the lower amount of players on the enemy team, because people have to constantly be shifting their focus from corridor to corridor, angle to angle. You're gonna find that lucky gap in some cases, but the luck going the way of Mayhem there. as they manage to scoop up the first Volk round here, and now the switch comes in. Jigglez now going to be on the defense. Mayhem approaching from the mirrored spawn. They spawn at the east tank as well. And we're getting ready to dive into round number 2 here of map 1. Oh, okay. Why did that? Oh. Sorry about that. Not exactly sure why transition went in there for no reason, but we are back into gameplay. No worries, no intermission needed. And the defense is underway.
Let's take a look at the difference in speed here between the offense and the defense. Defilade already at Ice Cream Truck, Theta right behind him. They're already halfway across the map, and we're only 20 seconds in. Gunshots already happening. Defilade finds Biggie Smalls.
Yeah.
Peeking, was it Blue Room?
Yeah, he was in blue room looking out towards the street. Defilade aware of that angle, able to scoop up an early kill. And yeah, 30 seconds into the round, we've already got one defender down.
You know, I wonder if that spot that Biggie was in was one of those Volk hidey holes where it's like so dark that it's hard to tell if you don't move against the background. But I wonder if they've lit that up. I know they did a lighting pass on Bazaar, so I'm wondering if that just hadn't been tested since, you know? Old strats don't always work when they change maps.
Yeah, a lot of those adjustments will have to be made, and especially for veteran teams, you know, you kind of get used to, like, it's muscle memory for a lot of areas, and it's hard to keep track of all the little changes that are done to map geometry. And right there, that probably was one of those situations you maybe just don't think about quite as much when you've done it 1,000 times. Capitano and Brass here, danger close to each other, but a little shy. Not quite making the push yet.
Probably eat my words, but I'm pretty sure that Mayhem has every time I played with them have been like, you got to check that corner right there where Brass is. I always forget about that corner. I'll just run right past it. Feel free to shoot me in the back as I go by. Like,
it is a relatively new one. I think it was a season 10, and no. The team kills on the offense are coming out in force. Capitano realizing his mistake.
He is. I will agree with Cappy. Cappy's claiming that he is very dark in that shadow, and from what I'm seeing, the only thing that's tan is his helmet.
Those lighting struggles will get you. But, you know, for a team that's been playing for so long, recognizing the positioning is important. You know, knowing where your teammate is, and Theta was pretty sneaky. He did walk past Capitano in a crouch, nice and quiet, not giving away a lot of information, and that probably didn't help the situation. But 2 team kills already in 2 rounds on opposite sides. That's going to slow up the Mayhem offense. Looks like a little bit. Shots ringing out from that idiot on the defense, but he's not able to back away in time, and Defilade will find the pick there. Looking for the confirm, doesn't get it. The callouts are still coming out.
-2.
Defilade calling that out as a kill, but not confirmed just yet. Nintendo looking for him, and there it is. That's going to be the payoff to the incomplete kill of Defilade. It's going to be a res too, it looks like. Yeah, he is going for the res right now. I can see on the mini-map, but we're paying attention to Capitano and Brass here. Brass starting to get a little antsy, and this might be his undoing. Does he hear the sounds that Capitano's making? They might just rotate out of position fast enough. No, he spots Brass.
Nice.
And a nice pickup there.
3J.
The rest of the approach, James and Wookie on the north wall now. Probably, I don't know. I want to say this is the safest approach if you can get all the way down the north. That's the hard part, is getting down the north wall. Wookie's taking shots at Nintendo, sees him peeking, does not find the shots. James going down the street side, gets shot by 404.
Wookie with a nice grenade toss there. Nintendo tucking in after the fact. Didn't even see that frag come in. But luckily does not go down as a result. Now he's watching this probable angle. Wookie's coming through. Capitano, meanwhile, gets the back of 404. Wookie swings, gets the trade on Idiot there, and we're into a 1v1. Let's ride along with Capitano in first-person view and see exactly what he sees. He makes this approach. He's got plenty of time, so at this stage, The last remaining member of Jigglez in the last round had about 30, 40 seconds, so he's got double the time here. And there's the rotation. The trade comes out. MAYHEM come out on top of that trade and nab themselves a second point here on Bazaar.
That's what you get from that top tier Onward action. You get team kills, you get reses, you get trades to finish the round. 1v1s.
Was a good. I mean, he was in it. He was in the right position. He was absolutely
Waiting for that panic rotation for the defense. Yeah,
exactly. And that's having a relatively accurate count is keeping you from also panicking as a member of the offense and rushing out, trying to, just blindly rushing at the defense. But he kept his cool and was able to nab that point there for MAYHEM. Now we've got the objective change here to the East Hotel courtyard. Another common one. Still haven't seen a new objective come up yet. We'll see how this works out as we swap back. Yeah, I mean, I love seeing veteran teams attack these new objectives, right? Because it's a lot different from newer teams. Newer teams have unrefined strategies that can be interesting to watch, but it's always interesting to see how a group of veteran teams will handle an objective change. We go round 3 is underway, and I'm getting past equipment from the MAYHEM folks. It's all right, you guys keep it. I don't need it as much as you might.
looks like the G-men, Jigglez men, whatever Jigglez are.
It's gonna be hard.
Hard this time.
It's an adjustment to make. You see the names, and your caster brain just goes.
I mean, they're already in the courtyard. It's 20
there
seconds
goes
in. There's the kill.
There's
two.
the
second kill. 404 just running in here, guns blazing.
They're looking for another one. I mean, they're so close to each other. Brass finds Wookiee on the inside. Now it's Capitano on the objective. And Defilate across going down. The trade comes in. Nintendo with the final kill onto Cappy. And right there is why MAYHEM may want to hold on to their equipment at the start of the rounds, not pass into the casters. Because don't forget who you're playing against. This is still a very rock-solid team and a great offense there by Jigglez to show the MAYHEM they're not quite done yet. That was lightning fast.
I think that's, I see a lot of the shock and awe attacks on this objective in particular, and I think it works out really well. I mean, I don't think I've seen one that failed, actually. The just overwhelming force, like 20 seconds up on top of the defense. I don't think I've seen one not work.
I mean, I've certainly seen them come apart, and it's usually a desync problem, right? Where your team is not where you expect it to be. If you've only got half your team rushing and the other half in the back, not supporting you. But that was not the case there, as every member of the Jigglez team was in position and ready to go. And let's see what happens when the roles are reversed. Now MAYHEM probably a little shaken by that one. They got stormed. We'll see if they answer back in kind or if Jigglez can get themselves evened up on the scoreboard here.
Well, unfortunately, it's not quick spawn for MAYHEM, so they're going to have a lot more time to spend getting to the objective. Theta here is just hanging out in the street waiting for someone to cross south of the tank, not finding anyone as the Jigglez are pretty set up on the objective. If you take a look at the map, you've got one pushing out into Kiat, but the rest of them are hanging out in that courtyard.
Now, that's a pretty good defense for everything except the north, right? They don't have great coverage on the north, and honestly, even the southeast approach is relatively open if they don't get spotted out by whoever's in Kiat there. We'll see what this
approach. They did
approach.
put a smoke at the tank to kind of confuse the defense, too. Or the offense, sorry. The defense put a smoke at tank to make it look like they were going to try and cross, which might have slowed down the offense, waiting for that to happen, which it didn't.
I think, well, Theta's position may have been for that specific reason, right? Shots ringing out there.
Over here shooting at ghosts. There's nothing in the line that he is attacking. I don't know what he saw, but he killed it for sure.
Yeah, it's dead.
Just wasn't the person.
It's dead now. Fly?
Yeah.
no longer exists.
At least
All
I
right.
didn't hear him call a down though, so at least they're not out a kill count.
So we're gonna go a little wide here on the pan. This is a pretty widespread offense. We'll try and get them all in the shot here. You can see this Mayhem team, you know, disciplined in their approach. They've got they're sort of equidistant from the objective right now, and you can take a look at the overhead map and see the setup that they've got going for it. And they just kind of did a full sweep. We'll see if that pays off in the end. If the non-speed variant of the approach to this objective will be equally as effective as what we just saw Jigglez do on the other side.
You know, I like these slow, methodical, spread out approaches, but I think the one flaw in them is they don't work well if you have a defensive team that likes to flank. Because if one of your guys goes down to a flanker, then the entire offense has to rotate or adjust for some random person that could continue his rotation or not. And so that's the real downside to these kinds of approaches, but it doesn't look like Jigglez are going to flank, which is kind of surprising because Bazaar, I feel like, is one of the flankier maps, at least from the teams that I've played against. I feel like we've always had to deal with the flanker. I'm thinking like Animal House. You can always guarantee that there's going to be someone.
Yeah, it is a map that affords you the opportunity to really shake up your approaches and shake up the way your defense sits. And geez, Biggie Smalls here tucked in, laying down, looking sideways out of this corridor right at Wookie as Wookie crosses. Is he gonna spot him out? The shots ring out. No, Wookie's safe on the side. Oh my goodness, he was
He's just panic shooting.
Yeah, it was panic fire there. He almost caught Defilade, I think.
I know. I thought he was shooting it first thing that moved.
I think even Defilade was a little shell shocked there for a second. And let's take a look up here. I see some action upstairs in Kayat. Now, another big change here. Yeah, like I think we mentioned in the beginning, these are connected buildings now. That doorway did not used to be there. It used to be a window. And Capitano utilizing that new upstairs approach, knocking out the first member of the defense. It's going to leave it a 4v4, evening things out on the board here. Blade sending some fire down. Was that towards James? This laser is pointed towards James. Makes me a little concerned. Minute 42 left. Defense still holding strong in this courtyard, though. I mean, the offense has a bunch of work left to do. As James comes in with the nade toss there. A great toss, but just a little too short, and Brass will nab Wookie across the street there.
Smoke on the OBJ. The panic-inducing smoke on the OBJ.
Yeah, here comes Brass and Brass rushing over, looking for it. Here comes the other smoke set up by Defilade. Now full coverage on the objective in this north alley. James has to push now, but Nintendo swings. Does he spot him? He spots James. James doesn't find it. And the supporting fire from 404 does more harm than good, knocking out Nintendo, who did manage to nab that kill. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, you can't fault him for
404's
it.
instructions were, if there's gunshots in the north alley, just let it rip.
Capitano finding Brass to mouth here. This is cap territory. If he can swing wide here, 404 spots him. He's rushing across. Defilade's got to push in. He's got to support. 404 pushing in. Does find Capitano. The refrag not available. Defilade shut down, and he swings out just wide enough for Biggie to find him from Blue Room. And just like that, we're in a tie game, ladies and gentlemen. Again, cannot count these teams out, no matter what.
That was, man, that was so close, too. The smokes were great. The smokes, I want to talk about them for a second, because they weren't covering the objective. What they were doing is blocking the Blue Room from seeing that north alley. And then your north alley guy only has to deal with one person, whoever was on the objective to defend it from the north. So it's really just cutting off the team, and you either have to adjust and walk out across the opening where Defilade was waiting. I mean, they'd have to cross south to north in the east courtyard, or they have to just shoot into the smoke like they did and take out a teammate. But that's a really smart play on the Mayhem side there. And I don't know if we've seen, I mean, they look practiced. I don't know if we've seen that kind of coordination with smokes on this objective before. Normally you just kind of cover it, just throw them in there and letting it fly.
Interesting. We're going to see what happens with the equipment usage going forward from here. We haven't, you know, that was the first really heavy smoke usage we've seen so far in these two objectives. And I expect in this one, we're going to see even more because this is that center kayak objective. Definitely not one of the more capable ones. Not an easy to defend. Jigglez pushing out quick on this western side, and it looks like Mayhem committing 3 to the west will be the correct call here as Brass swings. Is he going to spot Theta? No. Oh, sorry. Is Theta going to spot Brass? Yes. I retract my answer. It was a yes. Brass does spot Theta, and a nice little headshot will scoop up that kill for him. Nintendo, meanwhile, looking for that defender in the north. Not able to land the shots, and Wookie will live to shoot another day. He's got that offense swarming him. Look at Biggie just pushing up to the north, looking for that sweep. Biggie got the gun up. Wookie tucks in just in time. Oh, the return fire from Wookie. What a fantastic shot by Wookie there. A quick response. Still going to be a res available, however.
Yeah, but they have to cross an opening. Wookie's still there. Did he drop a C4 anywhere? No, it's still in his chest. Okay. I know Wookie likes a C4.
He does like his C4s. That is a fact. Brass putting a couple of shots down. It's going to give Wookie the intel, though, to know there's still somebody out here. Ooh, the frag coming out. Oh, fortunate placement.
Man.
Could have been great with those 3 members of the offense there, but the res comes out underneath the cover of the smoke. That's going to give a lot of the Jigglez folks room to breathe here in the north, but they still have to deal with Defilade's angle. Looking towards this entrance. It's a cheeky little angle. I haven't seen anybody use that, I don't think, watching out towards the north.
I don't think so. And Wookie's pretty much in a fight and die kind of scenario here. He can't really leave this position.
There's a chance he could still pick up one. He's got Biggie here, who's basically on a one-shot kill scenario. Since he just did get revived, he's going to be hearing Brass's approach.
James is making Defilade picking up Biggie here. Brass looking for that refrag, not going to find anything. Wookie. Oh, C4! Wow!
Goodness gracious.
-2 northwest.
What a wild C4 toss.
I mean, I feel like he didn't know he was right there. He panicked and just blew it and expected to go with it, but man, staying alive there. Wow. And then to be able to re-peek it and take down another, that's crazy.
Yeah, that was a wild situation. Oops, sorry, instant replay there. Deciding not to work today. So this is what happens when you come back for an early cast. Your replays just aren't there with you. We'll get that fixed up in these later rounds, but either way, grenade toss coming out. Nintendo backing off. Very smart thinking there. He knows Defilade is in that area. He doesn't know exactly where. But it's 2 members of the offense versus 3 members of the defense remaining. Defense is in an okay... Yeah, they're pretty good. They've got a decent amount of coverage here.
They've only got Nintendo. Oh, wait, who's the other guy still alive?
Yeah.
That idiot is still alive.
He's taking his time. They've got plenty of it. 2.5 minutes left here. Again, this is where you can catch the defense getting a little squirrely. Since they're down a couple people, they've got to check a couple of different angles. And this slow roll approach could work out well for them.
It's a lot of ground to cover at that speed, though, with only 2 minutes left.
And a lot of defenders to deal with on top of it. Is he going to be able to spot James out here? If he swings wide enough, he might be able... Yeah, he should be able to spot out the head of James here. But that's a small amount of pixels to identify. There it is. He spots Defilade on that rotation. Capitano now aware it's a 2v2. James rotating towards the objective. He's got Nintendo breathing down his neck, though. We've got two very close battles here. I don't know which one to focus on yet.
I'm not sure James knows or where that sound came from, those shots came from. He just gave away his position, making a call out. Nintendo waiting for him to just cross that angle. Hits him, but doesn't kill him. Nintendo backing off. That idiot picked up another. Now there's only one James left on the objective.
It's a one James situation.
You never really want to be in a one James situation.
It's the worst situation to be in. He's got to be rotating constantly now. 60 seconds left on the clock. He's exposed on this outside corridor, but he just can't afford not to be constantly rotating. This is it. Like I said, this is Cap City for the offense.
Best case scenario, he gets killed.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough, tough battle. We're going to follow along with James as he makes these rotations. I mean, again, he's doing the right thing. He's keeping his eye on all the positions that you could possibly cap from. Here's the smoke now from Nintendo. He's out to chase it. Doesn't go quite far enough. He's going to run into Nintendo capping.
Idiot capping on the other side of the wall.
Not fast enough, and James will clean that up. I mean, you said best case, but clearly there was another
I was
scenario.
wrong. I retract my previous statement.
There's clearly a third option on the table, and that's James clutching that round for Mayhem. A nice defensive rotation by him. It's that game awareness, right? You know, you're just assuming that they're going to try to get those 2 points, close that map out. I
think they got greedy. I don't think I would have gone for that.
I mean, if you hear the gunshots, that's kind of where you know that you're probably going to have to get that
sending
gun
one
up.
guy for the cap, sure, but sending both of your last two up to go for the cap, I don't know if that's the call.
Well, either way, a quick start from both teams. They didn't even give us a chance to parlay on the scoreboard. They're going straight in to this 6th round. Jigglez now on the defense.
Mirrored spawns for Mayhem, and it looks like Jigglez are going to take the other side of the map heavily, which is might tend to slow down their defensive rotation. I don't know. Nintendo finds Defilade on the cross in Mini Market.
That is going to be slowing up the Mayhem approach here on the west, as they're going to be looking for
They're in blue courtyard.
the call-outs there coming in.
On the cross.
Defilade down now. James, the captain, on the other side of the map. Gonna have to fight his own battle here in a few seconds.
I was going to say, I like the spread that the Jigglez had. They had like a line all the way on the south end of the bazaar almost. The man, James walking right up to him. The man taking him, or that idiot taking him down right through the wall.
Yeah, I was a bit aggressive on the James side, you know, for how careful they've played so far. That seems a little bit brash, considering what they just experienced on the western side. But a good defense by Jigglez is going to put them in a good position here to maybe tie the series up yet again and take this to that round 7 decider.
Wow, this one kill in the mini market has slowed down this offense, and that's a common spot. So I'm not sure why Defilade just running across there, and why it affected this offense so much. I mean, it's now 2 minutes down, and they're just now crossing that lane.
Oh, Nintendo on an absolute tear. Absolute tear, finding a second pick here from another, you know, somewhat expected position.
The west approach, guys. The west approach is not the safe approach. That's what we're learning here. If you're a weatherman, there's a chance of bullets over on the western side here.
Western hemisphere of Bazaar.
90% chance of bullets over here.
They've got some moving to do, Theta and Wookie. They got a lot of moving and shaking between the two of them.
All 5 members of the defense still alive. The good news is they can afford to not get a Marsoc point and it'll go to round 7. So it's not the worst case scenario.
Yeah, puts them on the defense for that final round, as we like to, well, at least like we like to tell ourselves, the Volk sometimes has an advantage, depending on the objective and the map. But not the worst place to be. A lot of teams would opt for that final round to be a defensive round, but it's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure to perform as a defender, and a lot of tension that comes with it. More so, you know, considering how much tension there already is as a Volk defender, as how much work you have to do mentally to understand where the offense is coming from, making sure that those call-outs are on point. It's a lot of work.
I want to look at the Jigglez defense here. Their diagonal line across the bazaar doesn't leave a whole lot of approaches that the offense can take where they can kill one and not get refragged. I mean, the refrag possibilities here are basically endless. So you have to go around the key out. You can't go right through it. But even going around, then you're fighting one-on-one battles on either the east or the west. And it looks like, never mind, the man or that idiot. I don't even know why I'm getting that wrong. It literally doesn't say his name.
Again, it's just it's all built in. You know, the casters.
I know it's the man.
You just set it on autopilot and you forget it. There's so much to do as part of the casting, for the production side of this.
Theta getting super lucky getting into that blue room there.
We got
the man heard it.
We got 15 weeks to get this right. Don't worry. Nintendo does manage to pick up Wookiee, of course, as I look away from that engagement. But now we are just left. Our casting buddy Theta here against a mountain of a Jigglez defense.
How many Jigglez is too many Jigglez?
Well, it looks like 5 is the answer to that question, because that idiot finding the final kill and a flawless victory there for the defense is going to take this to a tied series. This is Onward action. This is why we're here. Taking a look at that kill spread. I mean, it's, you know, teams are performing well. You can see everybody picking up at least a good bit of slack for their team. The only one, Theta, there, not able to find any sort of purchase just yet. Maybe on this defensive round, he'll change that. But everybody else, relatively even spread, of course. Nintendo and that idiot on the Jigglez side are finding a little bit more success.
I feel like Theta has to get a kill this round, otherwise we can't trust his videos about how to play Onward.
Is that how it works? That's what we'll tell him.
You can't trust a guy that can't kill somebody. Only murderers are trustworthy. That's what I'm getting at.
That sounds
that's
like
the moral of the story.
Sounds like the correct factual statement to make. And it's really the only solution you can draw from that information. But now we are in our final round. Again, not even enough time to visit the scoreboard. And Nintendo, in the opening 10 seconds, finding a down onto Wookiee here. It's going to be a very challenging res. Biggie Smalls, meanwhile, knocking out James in that window. And here comes the smokes. Here comes that pressure. I mean, we're seeing the sort of both sides of the coin. We see the sort of back and forth that they've been doing. The slow plays followed by the quick plays. Capitano starting to even things out a little bit. Brass to Mouth, meanwhile, finding the back of Defilade, and that's going to be another down. 2 down for Mayhem, and Rez is available. Shots going out over the top, but Theta, is he going to find him? The Rez comes out over the top of Rez, and Cabby kills Defilade on accident on that response. What?
Oh, no! What?
I have no words.
Okay, can you do a full screen replay for that one? Because
I don't know if my replays work. I mean, I've definitely captured it, but I'm gonna try it. Stream, I apologize if this doesn't work, but I would love to see if that actually. Let me just see if that brings us any sort of replay love. Dang it! I'll see if I can dig it up and play it afterwards. But what an absolutely insane round that was. I mean, I don't even know what to say.
He was going for the res. The res called out guy on your right. The gunfight happened through people. Like Theta was shooting through Capitano, and then he rezzed his guy, shot him in the back, and then went to res him again and got the enemy. Like, that's some Scooby-Doo level
That is,
shenanigans.
I mean, speechless. Absolutely. Anything can happen in these games, let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen. You never know what to expect with these teams, but that's what that pressure does to you. That is exactly the type of thing that that offense is designed to do, is cause that panic, cause that, you know, constant movement, having to just panic response to everything. And that's how you draw out mistakes in the defense. That's how you draw out that type of outcome. Pretty rare for us to see a res like that coming out.
The last time I saw a enemy res was boss fight on subway at the top of the stairs, rezzing the enemy. I think it was Radar actually that did it.
Absolutely speechless.
But, man, that's
I have no words. For
how do you cast that? I mean, like,
it is.
I need to go back and play it at like 50% speed just to understand what happened. I know chat will clip that for us, obviously.
Yeah, definitely relying on our Twitch folks there to give us the information after the fact. I'm sure that'll be shared around. That's not going anywhere. But we do have our second map selected. As you can see there, we are going to Subway. You'll excuse my late transitioning here. I'm trying to get these replays working. I want to make sure that we can showcase these.
Good, we got time. The objective is Chinatown objective, so it's gonna take a little bit of time. Actually, we're gonna see some north stairs action probably relatively soon. James and Deflate gonna be pushing up the north stairs. Nintendo going down the north alley to wait. It's gonna come around the corner. He does come around the corner. Comes around firing. Nintendo finds Deflate.
One dead, one dead.
Nintendo does find one, and Mayhem already down a man here. The grenade coming out too late. James getting I think he did get flashed there. Yeah, Nintendo with the key to kill pickup there, shutting down the north approach. That's going to leave the remaining 3 here on the street. And as I say that, it's down to 2 as the peaks come out. I mean, jeez, I'm glad I didn't keep troubleshooting. This action happened in the first 40 seconds. We had almost no time there to figure out what was going on. Absolutely insane. They're looking for it. He's got the confirm shots out. And he's looking for it. He's looking for it, but he can't find it, and that's going to force Theta and Cappy to retreat, find a new approach there. A great hold by Jigglez on both sides of the map, north and south. Absolutely locked down. Now they're going to have to deal with Brass if they opt to come up this way. I wonder if they're going to opt to go the back way, where Biggie Smalls is currently sitting and watching.
I think underneath is the best.
Let's follow along with Theta here, our resident caster, and we'll see what the offense opts to do.
I'm pretty sure they can hear those callouts. If we can hear them down underneath, they can hear them as well, right?
I believe so, yes.
Looking for any flanks or anything happening on the map. I don't see anything. I see 5 Jigglez still alive, though.
A little bit of that that friendly banter between teams we love to hear. Having a good time. All right, I did queue up that replay. I did save it. I think
you got time to play it right now.
It's the playback. Yeah, let's see if we can play it. Let's see if replays wants to work for me today. Oh, for crying out loud. It just doesn't want to show me the thing I want to show me.
Oh, that's depressing.
That's fine. We've got our folks. Oh, we've got our folks set on the Twitch side. Oh, there we go. It plays the wrong thing at the wrong time. All right, we are back to the action here.
We're professionals, people.
Yeah, first cast back.
So-
You know, you gotta blow the carbon out the pipes. You know, you gotta get rid of
I
the.
told you I could host this and we wouldn't be having any of
I
these issues. That's
don't
all I'm just
remember
saying.
any such discussion happening. You can't prove it, and I don't believe it. Luckily, we've got our Twitch folks there, definitely saving our fantastic plays from these teams. I'm sure the Onward VRML
Even
Discord is
Dak and
gonna light
Man's
up.
in there. He's in Twitch chat going, "Oh my God, that res."
Yeah, it is an absolutely wild scenario that we've seen so far. Again, apologies on all these weird transitions. You gotta figure all this stuff out.
Blame Mono.
As we usually do. It is the general rule. Looks like Mayhem's got a drop. Luckily, it was a downed player already, so no worries there. They should be back in the next round, but here we go. Biggie Small's going to be the one watching this angle. Will Cappy spot him out first? Unfortunately, the shots don't land, and Biggie able to scoop him up. Is he going to be able to find the second kill? No, Theta with the quick response, but 404 on that fast rotation, keeping Theta backed up in this area. Ooh.
Theta gonna opt to rotate. There's not enough time. There's only a minute 40 left.
He's going for it. He's going for that run, getting the daily exercise in.
I mean, you definitely got to commit at that point, right? A minute 40 left, and you're going to decide you're going to go.
He's moving and shaking.
Moving and grooving.
He's got 60 seconds to clear 4 defenders and or punch in a cap.
What's he going to go? Is he going north stairs? North stairs. I mean, I feel like we've already tried this approach, but...
No, he's going
where's he going
catwalk.
now? Overpass?
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
okay.
going to the overpass.
60 seconds left on the clock.
Like watching a marathon run, you know, like like a 5K that he's going through.
See, the problem now is that he doesn't have enough time to slow down, so he's just going to give his position away as he makes these loud movements towards the objective.
He's got a good defensive spread here. I mean, this is a good
brakes on this
position
train.
for him to be in because he's got one defender off in a different direction, but it's not going to matter, as you said. Brass, hearing the quick motions, nails down that final Mayhem offensive member, and now we are in a 0-1 situation. Jigglez finding the first point of map 2.
A super solid defense there from Jigglez.
Yeah, not a lot
I mean,
to complain about.
I feel like it's always a Russian roulette on the north stairs, right? If both members of Mayhem had been side by side versus stacked one behind another, then they probably would have won that trade and could have kept pushing.
I think it always depends on how the equipment lands. You know, the usage of the equipment there. Nintendo showed a very good usage of that flash, getting the back of James as he came up the stairs, giving him just enough leeway to
Who got the frags? Who got the frags? Go. There, yeah.
to blind
The
James and give him that
customary
kill.
James frag trade-off. Gotta give him all the grenades.
Yeah, he's a hoarder.
He is.
He's got a
So
problem.
we should have an intervention.
He's got a problem for sure. All right.
Jigglez coming up the south stairs fast and hard. They're all 5 up in the alley now. 4-4 and Biggie Smalls moving down Sex Shop Alley. Not going to see anybody yet. Capitano crossing back. Gunshots ringing out to take him down. 4-4 pushing more. Wookie's got his C4 out somewhere. I saw it in his hand. I don't know if he placed it. If he's holding it.
404 pushing
He
wide.
gets Biggie with... He got Biggie off the footsteps and then the kill onto Brass.
I'm surprised that that whoever rushed in there originally didn't check that corner. I mean, he was on a mission to get into that objective area, and so early without taking out as many defenders. That is a brazen move. The res on Biggie Smalls will be available now that Wookie's not on that corner to hear him. This should be an easy res for that Jigglez team.
I wonder if the idea was just to get on objective, and I mean, because then you induce panic for the rest of the round. You get on objective in 45 seconds. The defense is going to be running around with their chickens with their heads cut off all
James.
all around.
responsive on
Mind
that
games.
corner. I don't know that this corner existed. This is specific slice of subway existed that you could see through, but both players there trying to thread the needle, find the shots.
I think it always existed, but no one takes that side of the wall because you're exposed to north alley.
Right, and there it is, James.
Finds another. Or his first. I think that was his first.
Yeah, it's first on that corner. Gonna force that rotation out from Nintendo and company, and now it's a 2v3. Defilade with the pickup there. Just one remaining member. The shots coming out there will let them know that is the last member of the offense. Or second to last. I'm not sure if their callouts will be exactly correct with Wookiee's trade there. And the Biggie Smalls res.
They are super concerned that someone is over here in this alley still. Definitely needs to count the bodies now. Three minutes, 30 seconds left on the clock. That idiot's last man standing. Comms from Mayhem are on point. Saw at least 3 bodies from Defilade. Corner now. He finds the man. That idiot.
And there it is, Mayhem evening out the odds a little bit. Finding themselves in a tied series, and we've been going back and forth on these ties all game long so far.
That's what we want. We want that good onward action. And
Has
nothing is better onward action than North Stairs.
It has been quite a series so far. And North Stairs is absolutely going to be an interesting one to watch, because this is where that smoke rush, and this is where shields came into play, especially for this Jigglez team. This was their sort of bread and butter with the shield play when they were G-Man the Man, and Zach Fontaine was the combo in season 10 with the shield LMG coming down these stairs.
Not LMG. He had an M16 support class.
Did he? I thought he ran drum mags, but maybe I'm confusing it with a different team.
I don't think so. But anyways,
Okay.
yes, you're right. The shield play on this North Stairs from G-Men / Jigglez, terrifying. But we've also seen Mayhem cap this without a shield, under suppressive fire and smokes.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what these teams cook up here now.
And capping under fire is probably one of my favorite things to watch in Onward.
Over there.
All right, here we go. Round 3 is underway.
What are you doing? What you doing, baby?
Riding this OBJ.
Jigglez vying for position there on the defense. Who's going to push up these stairs first? They're going to get there quicker than the offense, that's for sure. We'll sort of meet them up here. This is usually where the initial action tends to happen. I see 404 rotating up on the catwalk. Brass here with the C4 looking for some love. Is he going to find it? Wookiee waiting for that itchy defense to come around.
Oh, is that going to set off for the C4 in Brass's hand? It does! That frag. Oh, wow.
Oh, here
Frag
comes
coming up from the man.
nice little toss. Would have caught Wookiee had he not pushed up a little bit. And now they're just on the other side of the corner from each other.
Wow. Theta down Cappy.
Swing from Defilade there. Does find one. He's not quite ready for that push. And now it's a 5v2.
Minus 3 total.
Count is good on the Mayhem side.
I got smokes.
There's the smokes. We'll see if the suppressive
Losing
fire
the body.
smoke push will be the way that it goes for the Mayhem offense. Look at those smokes pouring down.
Okay.
And Biggie's still got a little slice there I think he can see through. Maybe not. The top of these smokes are a little challenging, so we'll see his view here.
Here's the prone approach here.
Frag coming out just a little too early. Shots
goes
coming
Biggie.
out. Biggie down.
They're going. They called for the cap. James has got tablet out. James is in the smoke.
Nintendo
Tablet
is
out.
way out of position. They have got to know not to take these shots. Theta and Cappy both have to be patient, and there it is. Mayhem punch in the code, nab themselves 2 points, and they are off to the races here, 3-1. However, there's still the Jigglez offense on this same objective, so this very well could be a cap-to-cap response.
Oh, absolutely. But I would like to point out Mayhem had all 5 still standing when they made that cap too.
Yeah, it was a great approach. I'm not sure why Nintendo was so out of position there. They'd lost a couple already on North Stairs, and of course Biggie going down at the end there. I mean, that was...
Well, there were the gunshots on the South Stairs. There was gunshots and a team kill, so the gunfire could have been confusing, or a team down on the Mayhem side. So maybe he was just waiting for someone to come across the platform.
They might keep pushing real quick after they come.
There's death.
All right, here we go. We'll see if Jigglez have what it takes to respond in kind, or if Mayhem can hold on to nab themselves map 2 and take it to a tie-breaking map 3
They're gonna rush quick, guys.
here in this week 1 game.
Be ready to crash.
Mayhem calling for a quick push from the Jigglez. Let's see if that's accurate. C4 goes out on the ceiling.
And we go to we assume the position here up in the corner as we see the equipment trades coming out. The flash in does look like it got defilayed. The smoke's now on the stairs. It's good placement.
Biggie just came around that corner with that smoke out. He's like, I'm throwing this. That nade coming out, getting that insta dead. Right on top of him, but not
Another
hitting
one.
anyone else.
Another
There goes
one.
another!
The James frags coming out in force. That's a Biggie
There's
Smalls
another
present
one.
is available. There's a third.
Oh my god!
He finds another in 404 going down, and just like that, Mayhem find themselves in a 4v1 situation. Nintendo, the only one left. A res available for him, but unlikely, as I think James will find it there. And yes, it is confirmed. And now it's just 1 member, and now 0 members as Cappy nails the final headshot, and Mayhem take map 2 4-1.
Triple frag kills.
And that's
I
why
mean-
James gets to be a hoarder. MVP of that round for Mayhem, absolutely.
It only takes 1 grenade to kill 3 people, but he decided to use 3 grenades to kill 3 people, which is even more impressive somehow.
That was a fantastic series of grenades by James, and hopefully something Twitch was quick to clip, because that is a fantastic usage of equipment. That smoke actually working against the offense there, keeping them from seeing James, who was just the mortar fire of Mayhem, sending out grenade after grenade after grenade, and getting that final kill on 404 on the stairs. That is going to take us to map number 3. What's it going to be? What are your thoughts here on map 3? What do you think we're going to see here? Suburban Sand are out. We're thinking...
Look at the pool. What's the...
I mean... gotta think it'll be a smaller map, right? I gotta think it's going to be a cargo or a... something small.
It is not. It is not something small.
It is not. It is the opposite of something small, and as you may already see there in the mini-map, the spoiler coming in, Downfall is going to be the map choice from that Jigglez team, and it's going to be quite a battle here, I think. I think we're going to see some really intense gameplay between these two teams. I know neither of these teams really shy away from this map. Man, what a good series this has been so far.
I don't know if I would challenge Mayhem on a long-range map when Defilade is on the roster.
Now, has he been using that sniper rifle recently? I know he had shifted from the long-range M16 setup to...
Sure. I saw him using an iron sight AK-5C in Bazaar, which is equally impressive. I respect anyone that can use iron sights, because that's difficult. It is very difficult.
Yeah, especially in this game, it is not as easy. You know, in your standard FPS non-VR games, you're gonna get that auto lineup from the game that gives you the perfect line of sight down iron sights. But in VR, you got to do that yourself. It's all your two hands and keeping it steady and making sure you've got it all lined up. So yeah, certainly a challenge to use. I'll be curious to see the loadout coming out from both of these teams if we see that sniper rifle, that 4x and 12x utilization. Both of those scopes saw a rework in the latest updates of Onward and have been far easier to use than in the past. The parallax being toned down quite a bit on both scopes, making them a lot simpler. So I've seen a lot of teams using those long-range implementations more often, but we don't have to wait very much longer to see what everybody's going to be rocking, because we are getting into our first round of Map 3, the series deciding map between Jigglez and Mayhem here in Week 1. Get those predictions into the chat. Let us know who you think is going to win this. I mean, it has been quite a battle between these two teams. They have not pulled any punches just yet. We've got everything.
Deathblade is rocking an SKS 12X suppressor.
We've got comedy, we've got action, we've got everything in this match. It's everything you want.
I think it's funny. He's giving up a foregrip on his SKS. So the follow-up shot, I mean, with the semi-auto snipers, the follow-ups are easy to do. It's tap, tap. But he's giving that up in what I'm assuming is for some other kind of utility. Who was just looking at him? Who's got a laser pointed at the brothel? Because do they also have a scope? That's the real question. We've got a hollow.
I think it would be that idiot, the former man. One definitely just panning over that offensive position. The smoke coming out, that's going to give away, maybe not, you could rotate that distance, but it is going to give away the position of at least a couple of the members of the offense. Put Mayhem on a bit of alert if they spotted that smoke out. I don't think the sound carries that far anymore, right? You can't hear smokes at a particularly hefty distance.
I mean, if it's the same as what I'm seeing in camera, yeah, it doesn't make it across that little dirt path right there next to the smoke. Take a look at the overhead map, though. Jigglez are panning out. They did move from the Marsoc twins. They've got one in Upper Dumpster, two over at the Canyon, and two moving to the north. 4-4 just going for a jog right across the middle, right to the helicopter tail.
You know what's funny about doing something like this is defenses can rarely expect it in some cases, but not the Mayhem defense as Wookie scoops up 404 on that aggressive center push.
I like his plan, though. He threw a smoke at Capitano's window, and he was trying to just block that view and run for it.
Had they maybe put some suppressive fire in a center hotel, that could have panned out, kept Wookie tucked in a little bit, but no one was in the proper position to do that at that time. Brass tucking in just in time to avoid a few shots here, and now Defilade gets that call out. Brass does find the kill, though. Theta in the objective room going down to a nice headshot by Brass. Great. That's so tough to see into those windows. Great shot by him to even things out a little bit. Now he's looking for James. He's out for blood, this guy.
Looking for him. Defilade's got his laser trained on that crack. Just can't find the head, waiting for it.
I wonder if he's telling James to tuck in or not. Hey, get your head out of the way. I'm trying to get this guy. Oh, the click.
Brass is going through a lot of ammo here.
It's a Mexican standoff between these three players right now. I haven't even checked the other layout here, so I think everybody so far has been relatively in the same spot. Definitely takes a couple of shots, and the final shot does ring out. The head of Brass to mouth exploding into a fine mist as Mayhem take their advantage up. Yeah, I mean,
they're all pinned on Defilade's window now.
That's the problem. Is he going to re-peek? Smoke's coming out, trying to bait him out into looking, it seems like. I don't think he's quite as easily drawn out, but he definitely wants to be looking at it. He wants to see who's going to try and cross in front of it. Nintendo now looking for it. The smoke coming out just under the window, and there go the shots. They do not land. A volley of fire. Nintendo does make it to center hotel. Oh, and he goes for the radio. That idiot does manage to pick up Defilade in the end, and that is going to even things out yet again. Blow for blow, trade for trade in this first round.
Wookie in center hotel prematurely blew his C4 based on the footsteps. Now Nintendo knows that someone's here and has to clear center hotel. Minute 30 left on the clock.
I think there's one near me. I don't think I killed him.
You did not kill him, Wookie. You most certainly did not.
Laser trained out over towards one of the remaining
Did that
three.
idiot rotate away?
He did.
I mean, did he like...
He did, in fact. Nintendo on the swing does manage to scoop up Wookie, bringing things into an offensive advantage the first time this map. Shots come out. Now it's that suppressive fire from Biggie as he comes down the North Hill, but the defense crashing to the objective, trying to make sure no cap is coming out here. This is a dangerous place to be with two of them tucked in like this.
What is going on?
Nintendo's got Pat out.
Nintendo's on. What is happening?
He's got it. They don't see this yet. They're not checking.
God.
The
How did
man
he
swings on
get
the
there?
outside, and there it is. They just pushed them off of it. That suppressive fire pushed them back. And I think James just assumed that Cappy was going to be watching that angle, that he was going to swing around that wall and look, but not fast enough. And just like that,
Wow.
Jigglez come back from a deficit that whole round and managed to punch in the code, get themselves 2 points here on the opening round of Downfall. What a fantastic play there. Just great communication, great awareness from the Jigglez team. Paying attention to where these shots are coming from, putting down the right equipment, drawing fire properly, and then that last push, I mean, surely no small stroke of luck to not have the defenders checking that side, but a huge mistake for Mayhem not to be paying attention to the other side of that wall, and Nintendo just saunters up and punches in the code easy as pie.
Two people just right on top. I just, it's so crazy.
It was quite a play indeed. But it looks like Mayhem down a man right now. Capitano dropping out of the session for a moment. In this short break, I do want to thank everybody for coming out today and, weathering our technical difficulties storm that I've had with my deck. I promise I will resolve most of those before my next cast. But I appreciate everybody hanging out and chatting in Twitch and clipping all the amazing action we've seen so far, and just in general, and supporting the VRML and playing Onward and just being some cool dudes and gals. So thank you to everybody who's come out to support us. I want to thank our sponsors, HyperX Pro 2, VR Cover, Cyber Shoes, B Haptics, Fix Gaming, and Rebuff Reality. Just, it's a good time. It's a good time to be in the VRML. It's a good time to be playing this game. And, this kind of action is why I love casting this game. It's why I love casting the VRML in general, but casting this game, you just never know what you're going to get. Sometimes you revive the enemy team and they kill you for a round win. Other times you get crazy caps under smoke or forced rotations. Sometimes you get caps with two defenders up on Downfall. You never know what you're going to get with these teams. And if you're interested in joining, head on over to vrmasterleague.com/onward, and you can sign up to be a reservist or a caster or start your own team, whatever you want to do, however you want to participate. And then at the same time, join us over on the Discord, Onward VRML. Lots of awesome folks hanging out there. I'm sure we'll be seeing some of these clips floating around in the channels for the next day or so. And yeah, lots of good folks there. Do go check them out and check out all the other stuff VRML's got to offer. We've got plenty of games of a variety of types. So if Onward isn't your bag, we've got plenty of other things for you to check out. But as if they knew how long that little spiel was going to take me, everybody's back in. We're ready for gameplay in round 2.
Capitano is out, and Skyjoker is in.
Yeah, substitution mid-map. I wonder if Capitano there just downtrodden. Missing that cap. It's going to be a northeast spawn for Mayhem, and the shot's coming down over the top of the hill. Just suppressing fire across spots. Defilade does have the call out on his target 404 in that window there. And Idiot can be the first one that finds James as he swings out a little too wide in front of North Hotel, and I'm sorry, that's Statler Spawn House, and gets himself caught. And now it's a 4v5. I mean, if you're Mayhem here, you do not want to be going down to a 3-0 on this final map. That is a big deficit to have to fight back, and especially with the game having gone as long as it has, you know, that fatigue starts to wear on you.
Brass taking shots through the helicopter tail, trying to find Skyjoker. I think he was shooting Skyjoker in the upper red truck.
Was indeed, yeah. Again, another cheeky little spot that I don't think was possible. I think a tail was always solid prior to the latest updates. At least not that I remember it being separated.
I haven't played Downfall in 3 seasons. I wouldn't know.
Yeah, the SMC style there.
Permaban.
Yeah, the permaban from the certain teams. Mayhem's offense here, I mean, you take a look at the overhead map. Not a ton of movement. 2 still roughly in spawn. 2 did make it down to the south, but, you know, equidistant in terms of the path to the objective from their spots. They've got 4 minutes left, but as we know on Downfall, it's not a lot of time. Not for certain offensive approaches, certainly.
Yeah, the Mayhemians in the north can't do anything until the south is ready to make this approach. Otherwise, the approach is going to fall apart before it even starts, because you'll lose your 2 in the north.
Is he going to spot? Is they going to spot Brass here at the helicopter? He hasn't even looked in that direction yet. Both Biggie and Brass, they're so focused on the center hotel right now, which coincidentally only has somebody on the first floor. They just still not seeing Brass. I mean, you can see him there. Definitely a different view when you're in the headset. But Brass just camouflaged enough. Another push coming. Defilade does finally manage to get that pick onto 404 and Brothel. He was scoping him out for basically the entire first 3 minutes. Finally lands the shot and evens things out for this Mayhem squad.
Wookiee and Theta pushing up on the south. They're both now at the upper and lower dumpsters. Still have to get past the man in center hotel and cross the opening, which apparently wasn't hard for Jigglez. So, I mean, maybe it's not that hard. I haven't played the map in a while, but they have to get from center hotel to the objective with Brass still there at the heli tail.
Brass taking a couple more shots at Joker there in the East Red truck, but no love just yet. I mean, meanwhile, the southern approach has been relatively unimpeded. Ooh, Theta spots out that idiot in the center hotel.
Peeking me over and over. If you could shoot an M203 over there, that'd be great.
Couple of smokes coming out from the defense. Gonna give him a little opportunity to dip out. There's the suppressing fire that was requested by Theta. Ooh, the shot's almost ringing out. And hitting him over the top. Brass finding Defilade as he approached from the north. Wookiee does manage to spot out Brass at the helicopter, knocking him out. And we're still in an even playing field here. However, Brass is going to have that call-out game quite strong from his centralized position. Confirmation
trying to find
shots.
That double tap does not land. Wookie, however, does have a 203 on his Mark 18, so maybe we'll see that used to clear the windows by objective fired onto that wall. Theta finds Nintendo on the objective. That no longer needs cleared out.
I don't think he's going to be ready for that idiot spot here.
Call out.
Minute left.
Wookie's on his roll.
He checks the window, doesn't spot him. In that position, working quite nicely for the Jigglez defense as he's able to pick that up. And now it's a 2v2, but Brass going to have the callouts on, I think, both of these approaches. Is he going to be able to? Yeah, he's going to be able to see Sky Joker easy as pie. Wookie with a fantastic M203 does manage to nail Center Hotel, and that's just one person left. The confirm comes out onto Brass. That callout's not there. Biggie Small swings wide. Does find Sky Joker, and now it's all down to Wookie as he spots him out. The rotation coming in. Is he gonna go for code, or is he? No, he's going for code. Biggie's ready for him. He takes out the pistol. He's not ready. The swing comes out. Mayhem come out on top. Wookie just able to get that gun up over the top and secure that point for Mayhem. Best case scenario, I think so.
It was tablet, pistol, back to rifle.
It's quick swaps. Those quick swaps by these players. I wonder if he got the pistol on accident. No, I guess you can't really. It'd be difficult to do that on accident. I guess. Well, actually, if it's on your
He
chest.
put his tablet away, so I don't know. Yeah, I could have grabbed it on accident when he put his tablet away.
I don't know if his pistol's on his chest. That's the question to ask. Oh, of course, we transition to scoreboard, but these teams are ready to go. They don't have time for us to be checking scoreboard, Trip. The action is too hot.
Care.
Yeah,
They're in the moment. It doesn't matter until that 4-point win comes across. Nothing really matters.
They're very caster inconsiderate, you know. Not gonna give my voice a break at all.
You would think for a team of like 5 casters that Mayhem would kind of understand.
Yeah, we'll give him a talking to. The objective in the Northwest is gonna have a quick spawn to deal with from the offense. 404 wide on the hill, almost catches a few bullets for his troubles. Looks like he did have to syringe. 404 going to swing out again. Oh, Defilate's not watching it. That would have been an easy shot for Defilate's angle.
404 is going to go for a run. Looks like he's going to go all the way to the south.
This defense is set up in a good way to watch that south approach. Got the 2 in the center and the 2 in helicopter. In crater. They'll have some eyes on, but if Jigglez committed more to that southern push, they may be able to overwhelm. You know, that rotation from James and Joker in the north, that takes a while. So if you can down the defenders closer to the objective and make that same push they did to punch in the code for the first round, I feel like they would have equal success if they did the same thing right now. They're opting to stick around here close to the objective. Just a little bit of check fire. I think they're putting it into a couple of windows. Yeah, it looks like Center Hotel is where they are assuming there are defenders. However, there are none in the Center Hotel. Pretty, I suppose not surprising if you caught that spawn early. You don't want to be crossing to Center Hotel. You got that long line. We're right where 404 is headed. Is he going to go for the same quick rush again? The smoke is in a similar spot, but Wookie taking a couple shots. They don't land. 404 lives to crash another day.
Yeah, that call out should have happened though. They have to know he's there at the heli now.
More smoke's coming out. Wookie with the nade toss. A little too high. James and Wookie both dealing the damage to 404, and that's twice his rush has not panned out for him on this map. Comes the rest of the pressure from this Jigglez team. Nintendo almost catching the wrath of James as he peeks the corner. Gets away with his life.
I don't understand these smokes that over by Brass, like, why are there just random smokes on the map? Did they misthrow them?
I wonder if... I think they know where Defilade is. I think they were just trying to keep that window covered right there. There's a couple of shots coming out as soon as that smoke moves. The C4 blast. Not going to find anything for Wookiee this time. Suppression on James. Defilade's watching for this corner where Brass wants to swing out. But he's going to have to deal with multiple people.
Did we have a drop? Where's the 5th Mayhemian? Joker did drop.
Yeah, Joker...
Because he was in the building with James.
Yeah, he was in with James. Not anymore. Defilade does manage to scoop up too. Nintendo and Biggie Smalls both going down. Now Brass going to be looking for this refrag. I don't know if he knows exactly where Defilade is. Yeah, he's panning over the windows. He doesn't know where those shots came out of. Ah, but he spots him in the end. Defilade going down. And that's leaving the objective, if James goes down, a little exposed. But Theta on the rotation now. Is he going to go into the objective building? No, he's going to stay tucked in behind. It's so interesting to see them so far back here on this helicopter bungalow area rather than at least one in the OBJ building.
Yeah, and I bet that's exactly what's going through that idiot's mind as he's waiting for a rotation here on the, the south side.
I think they're just banking
so
on
far off
James.
objective.
They're just banking on James, keeping this front side. They want to keep the back basement entrance clean. I don't know if Theta's going to be ready here for this rotation.
Minute 20 left on the clock.
Yeah, Brass has to know he's got to deal with James here if he wants any measure of success to come out of this. That idiot would have absolutely been better served coming up the street, but James does in fact have that front side covered, and now it's 60 seconds left to push. Coming in, he finds one. He's got 50 seconds left. He knows he's on a time crunch. He's got to know how much time he's got left. Pushes out wide. Is he going to find Theta here tucked in on the wall? Theta should be hearing him. He swings. And he does manage to pick up that final kill.
I was a little concerned because, yeah, Theta hadn't moved at all. And then all of a sudden he shoots him. And I was like, oh, okay, maybe he did hear him. And Theta's like, he scared me.
Theta definitely spooked a little bit by that quick motion. Nice little spot, tucked in, stayed quiet, didn't force a rotation, was just watching that basement entrance. James had the other side locked in. A solid defense there by Mayhem. Not a lot to complain about. I was a little originally skeptical of that center hotel lack of coverage, but once that offense approach, it kind of made a little bit more sense. Sky Joker now back into the lobby, it looks like, so we should have a full 5v5. Yeah, interesting enough, at the end there, they did have that drop, so it was a 4v4 for a time. We're in a tied game for, God, I don't even know, the 6th time probably in this series. And we are at a tied series. This is the deciding map for this final gameplay stint that these teams got going on, and we'll see who comes out on top. I'm hoping everybody's got their predictions in. Hopefully everybody's using the connoisseur feature on the website to get their votes in. Trip did mention at the top we had 77 votes for Mayhem and I think sub 10 for Jigglez. Not a lot of faith, but they have been putting on quite the performance. Oh, and it does look like we're going to have a reset.
How do you reset?
There it is. The reset does come out.
Oh, shots ringing out, too, giving away spawn from Mayhem.
That's not ideal. I mean, they didn't know, and that the clock had started. They made the time. I don't think that was... They didn't expect to reset there. That's unfortunate. Yeah, so the spawns do not change upon a reset, so you always want to stay quiet. For those of you new to the league, if you let off your guns when there's a round reset, that is the same spawn you're going to get when you load back in every time. So you want to make sure you... give it a little bit, give it a couple seconds. Make sure if the team's going to reset, you're not going to give away your game plan That's a lot to work with for the Jigglez defense here as we jump back in. I wonder if they know.
I don't know. It doesn't seem like they know.
Yeah, I don't think they heard it at the end. I think it would have only been one player that really would have heard it. Everybody would be back in the tent by then. Maybe they did. James finding the first down and the confirm on Biggie. What a distant shot that was. All the way across the map, and that's going to give the spawn away anyway, so only save them about 10 seconds of not knowing where the spawn was.
Almost pooped my pants a little.
Yeah, the gunshots are different now with the distance and reverb.
I killed the one trying to get crater building. Okay, so it makes your approach a bit easier if you want to try helicopter.
So there's James giving a little bit of intel to his team as he was able to confirm that kill. Double confirm it. Check in with Theta here as he keeps an eye on that helicopter 2-story, but Nintendo pretty tucked in. No reason for him to move.
So
Got a
he
pretty
made
standard angle to hold.
correct?
Offense still getting set up. Minute ticked down already, and they're still relatively close to spawn, so quite a ways to go.
That is probably.
Now again, they
To
did not
the
get mirrored
north.
spawns.
It could be in dark room.
James and Skyjoker moving along the crater going north. They're going to have to contend with 404 in the lower red truck downstairs basement area, looking back at objective. Not an easy person to root out while you're trying to be sneaky.
Now I have, watched James enough to know he's most likely going to be aware of these basement positions. I'd be shocked if he's caught off guard. But even if you know they're there, not an easy position to clear them from. Lots of different corners and angles
Bounding first.
defenders can sit in those buildings.
I'll go second. You go first.
Being very cautious on their approaches. Lots on the line. They've managed to come back from a 2-0 deficit here at the beginning with that opening cap. Not a small feat in and of itself. But Jigglez have been absolutely just hammering away at this Mayhem team and doing a great job of holding them at bay.
Yeah, I want to look at the past map history. We've got Downfall played 4 times, and 3 out of 4 have gone to Jigglez. So a much higher win percentage for them on this map.
Yeah, again, this Jigglez, formerly G-Men team, has largely been the victor in most of their battles in the past. Only the most recent Season 10 fight went the way of Mayhem. Now, that doesn't count postseason. Postseason is in a league of its own, so to speak. Those records are not kept on the website, but in regular season play, yeah, this has largely been a Jigglez favored matchup. We'll see if Mayhem
James here
can.
outside of 404's basement, just hanging out, making noise. 404 is waiting. He's moved to a position where he can watch someone try and attack his basement.
Shots coming out from Wookie onto Center Hotel. Oh, he's actually putting it on 2-story. Nintendo's got to tuck in. Data now swinging wide on the outside. Brass not. Oh, had he just looked to his right, he probably would have seen him there. Theta, here's the shots. It's enough for Brass to go down, and that is another member of the Jigglez defense out.
Center hotel.
Now, will he know about an idiot's position here?
Confirmed.
404 does nab Sky Joker. It's gonna give James a bit of a fright as he's sitting right next to that building. Shots coming out from Theta there, but that's gonna give him away in a nice push.
Center hotel. Bottom story center hotel.
He's gonna go back and confirm it now, but a great little swing out that door to find Theta. Confirm is in, but the call out came out. Oh, Nintendo with the shots on to Wookiee, making it a 3v2, and just like that, we're in a defense-favored round with 60 seconds and a little change left to go.
We got Defilade on North Hotel watching for any rotations while James tries to make this approach.
I mean, he knows 404's in here, right?
He does. He called him out.
Oh, and a
Just the wrong time.
What a swing. Nintendo now panicking. He's got to get out of the basement. Pads out. James is typing in the code. This could be map right here. Is he going to make it around the corner?
Defilade's got Overwatch. Defilade doesn't have Overwatch, but the cap happened.
The cap is in. It does not matter. Mayhem seals the deal. Nintendo just... you could see him like checking tablet. Do I have to go out? And then he just took a little too long. That was maybe a second and a half too long to decide to go out. And just like that, James gets the code in, and Mayhem will be the winners here today, finishing up with a 2-4 score on Downfall. What a series this has been. Holy
What
cow.
a series indeed. I mean, that, whew, we saw everything. That's everything I could ever want from an Onward game.
That was a fantastic series by both of these teams. I mean, I don't know. I can't really ask for much else, you know? When I come to watch some Onward, this is exactly the type of thing that I expect to see. Two veteran teams duking it out, blow for blow. I mean, that was, you know, how many caps did we see? 4 or 5?
4
caps in 3 maps. That is a pretty impressive amount to inflict on each other, and some great plays overall. Any final thoughts on that matchup, Trip?
All I could say is that if this is the kind of action we're going to be seeing all season long, and I think it is, then I'm super excited for Season 11. Welcome to all our new teams. Welcome to all our new players. And let's get at it on the battlefield.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I do want to say thank you to everybody who tuned in again, for hanging out with us in the Twitch chat and catching those clips when my replays have failed me. I will be resolving that issue. No worries. Hopefully, we will be back quite a bit this week to bring you a lot more of this action. We have picked up a new bank of casters that we're getting onboarded and trained up and ready to start casting all of the insane amounts of matches that we've got in the Onward League this season. I want to thank our sponsors again: HyperX, Pro2, VR Cover, B-Haptics, Fixed Gaming, Rebuff Reality, Asterion, and Cyber Shoes, as always, for supporting the league. And
don't forget our new one.
VRware. Yeah, we've got all kinds. And I'm just so excited for this season. I can't even put it into words. But that is going to do it from us here at the casting desk today. My name is Noman with a 4. I was joined by Mr. Triple Nipple. If you've got any questions, come join us on the Onward VRML Discord, or head on over to vrmasterleague.com to check out all of the different things, including Onward, that you can get yourself into. And we will see you at the next cast. So have a good night, everybody, and we'll see you next time.